You now say this is not only an alien spaceship, but it's nuclear powered? Why are you saying that?
Now you're claiming this isn't just an alien craft, but it's nuclear powered. Why the bold assertion, a staggering 10 gigawatts of power? That's the energy signature coming from the mysterious object 3IATLAS. It shouldn't be possible. This traveler from the stars was thought to be a simple comet, a dirty snowball that just reflects the sun's light. However, the most recent high-resolution images show something else entirely. Rather than a classic tail, it has a weird glowing cocoon facing directly toward the sun. Its light profile is too sharp, it's fading too sudden. According to Harvard's Avi Loeb, we're not looking at a natural phenomenon. We're looking at something that appears to have an engine flying a very intentional course through our cosmic neighborhood. 10 gigawatts of mystery. Something truly strange is flying through our solar system. On July 1st, 2025, an automated telescope system called ATLAS, which stands for Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, sent out an alert. It had spotted our third-ever interstellar visitor, an object from a different star system, which was then designated as 3IATLAS. Initially, the astronomy community sighed with collective relief. Unlike the bizarre cigar-shaped Oumuamua, this one looked like a regular comet. It had a fuzzy glow around it, a coma, which is precisely what you'd expect from a giant ball of ice and dust getting closer to the sun. The ice warms, turns into gas, and creates a beautiful halo. Case closed. Right, wrong. What nobody tells you is that the more we studied it, the less it made sense. Many people are obsessed with space, but what came next was a shock even for seasoned astronomers. When the Hubble Space Telescope took a closer look, the images revealed something that should be impossible. Comets have tails that are pushed away from the sun by solar winds and radiation pressure. But I didn't have a classic tail. Instead, it had a strange teardrop-shaped cocoon of dust that was stretched towards the sun. It was like watching smoke from a campfire blowing back into the flame. This was the first major red flag. But then came the light itself. Avi Loeb, the former head of Harvard's astronomy department, and his colleague did a deep dive into the numbers analyzing the brightness profile of this strange glow. What they discovered was jaw-dropping. The light from the coma faded incredibly sharply, much faster than the light from any known comet. You see, not all things are what they seem. Loeb realized this steep light curve pointed to one unbelievable conclusion. The sun wasn't the primary source of illumination. The object was lighting up the dust cloud from the inside. It was generating its own light, and the amount of power required was astronomical. Loeb calculated the object was glowing with a continuous output of 10 gigawatts. To put that in perspective, that's the energy equivalent of 10 full-scale nuclear power plants running at max capacity here on Earth. This isn't a faint flicker. It's a colossal beacon of energy in the cold darkness of space. This one fact completely changes everything. If it's making its own light, then the initial size estimates were all wrong. The original model based on reflected sunlight suggested 3IATLAS was enormous, maybe 12 miles across, twice the size of the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. An object that big is incredibly rare. But if it has an internal reactor, Loeb's calculations suggest the object itself could be tiny, perhaps smaller than 300 feet across. A small object producing that much energy is, scientifically speaking, unheard of in nature. It defies our understanding of physics. We simply don't know of any natural process that allows a 100-meter rock to generate the power of a small nation. The mystery only deepens from here. But its impossible energy source wasn't the only secret it was hiding. A path with a purpose. When an object travels for millions or even billions of years between the stars, you'd expect its path to be random. It should come in at any old angle from any direction. But 3IATLAS is different. Its trajectory is suspiciously neat. The thing is, it's traveling within the ecliptic plane, the flat pancake-like disk, where all the planets in our solar system orbit. The odds of a random interstellar object lining up so perfectly with our planetary plane are incredibly low. Something like a 1 in 500 chance. It's like throwing a dart from across a football field and having it land perfectly flat on the 50-yard line. It's possible, sure, but it's eyebrow-raisingly precise. But the coincidences don't stop there. The path of 3IATLAS seems almost like a guided tour of our solar system. After swinging by the Sun, its trajectory is set to take it remarkably close to several key planets. On October 3, 2025, it will have a blind date with Mars passing within 18 million miles. This is close enough for the high-rise camera on the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter to get our best images yet. Then it continues on its journey set for a close approach to Jupiter. Avi Loeb describes this trajectory as fine-tuned and deliberate. He raises a chilling possibility. What if this path wasn't an accident? What if the object is mapping our system, observing our planets, or even deploying smaller probes? The idea sounds like science fiction, but the orbital mechanics are hard to ignore. This is where the story gets even stranger. The James Webb Space Telescope made another bizarre discovery. The gas cloud around 3IATLAS is made almost entirely of carbon dioxide, with very little water. For a normal comet, this ratio is paradoxical. This unusual chemistry combined with the lack of a water vapor tail adds yet another layer to the mystery. Some scientists argue this just means it formed in a very different kind of star system. But Loeb offers a more provocative explanation. What if the object isn't a comet at all, but a spacecraft, and the glow is its nuclear engine burning off a thin layer of interstellar dust and grime that has accumulated over its long journey? The CO2 could be part of this cosmic dust, not the core composition of the object itself. The evidence is mounting that we're dealing with something far outside our normal experience. So if it isn't natural, what could it possibly be, breaking down the theories? So what is the truth about 3IATLAS? The scientific community is deeply divided. On one side, you have the majority of astronomers who urge caution. They argue that we are witnessing a natural, albeit very strange, comet. The universe is a big place, and we shouldn't be surprised to find objects from other star systems that don't conform to our local rules. They suggest the weird glow could be from exotic ices we haven't seen before, or the unusual composition is just a sign of its alien origins. They say calling it an alien probe is jumping to conclusions without enough evidence. To them, it's an exciting puzzle, but one that likely has a natural explanation waiting to be discovered. They correctly point out that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. On the other side is Avi Loeb leading a smaller but vocal group of scientists who believe we must consider the alternative. He argues that clinging to the comet explanation is like seeing a car and insisting it must be a funny-shaped horse because that's all you've ever seen before. The list of anomalies is just too long to ignore the internal power source. The precise trajectory, the lack of a cometary tail, the strange chemical signature. Loeb isn't saying it's definitely an alien spacecraft. What he is saying is that the possibility is high enough that we have to take it seriously. He created something called the Loeb scale to rank interstellar objects. He currently places
directions when they pass near
4
planets.
out of 10.
Yet the trajectory calculations
but a
show
significant
that
possibility of being
3IATLAS
artificial. The thing is, we're at a fascinating moment in history. Are we missing a key detail that will suddenly make everything click into place as a natural phenomenon?
tracking
Are we in the
systems have
middle of a
occasionally detected
slow-motion revelation? The first inkling that we are not alone. The truth is, we don't know yet. But the upcoming close pass with Mars could be the moment of truth. The high-resolution images from the high-rise camera might finally be able to separate the object from its glow, and tell us its true size and shape? Will we see a jagged, irregular space rock, or will we see something manufactured? It's a question that hangs over all of us as we look up at the stars, wondering what's out there. The answer might just be looking back, a message in our DNA. Let's push the boundaries even further. We've been looking for radio signals for messages carved into asteroids for some kind of cosmic hello. But what if we've been thinking about it all wrong? What if an advanced civilization isn't interested in talking? The thing is, what if they're interested in building? This leads to one of the most incredible and unsettling theories about 3IATLAS. What if that 10-gigawatt power source isn't an engine for moving the object, but a factory for making something? This is where Avi Loeb issues a profound warning. We could be misinterpreting a biological event as a physical one. The theory suggests 3IATLAS is a panspermia probe, a cosmic seed ship. You see, for decades, scientists have kicked around the idea of panspermia, the concept that life on Earth may have originated from microorganisms that drifted here from space, perhaps on a comet or asteroid. But this new theory takes it a giant leap forward. This wouldn't be accidental. It would be directed panspermia. An ancient, hyper-advanced civilization could have built fleets of these automated probes, cosmic gardeners designed to travel the galaxy and seed promising worlds with the building blocks of life, that impossible glow. It might not be heat and light from a nuclear reactor, but the bioluminescence and energy signature of a massive biological manufacturing process. The probe could be using its power source to assemble complex amino acids, proteins, or even self-replicating nanites from the simple atoms it collects in interstellar space. The strange carbon dioxide-rich cloud might not be dust. It could be the nutrient medium or waste product of this process. Loeb warns that we need to be careful what we wish for. If this theory is true, 3IATLAS isn't just a visitor. It's a delivery system. Its carefully planned trajectory through our solar system, passing by multiple planets, suddenly makes terrifying sense. It could be releasing clouds of these engineered microscopic organisms designed to thrive in a variety of environments, from the thin atmosphere of Mars to the oceans of a moon like Europa, and even here on Earth. But not all things are what they seem. Many people get excited about the idea of discovering alien life, but Loeb's warning is stark. This wouldn't be a discovery. It would be an arrival. An engineered organism from another biosphere could be totally incompatible with our own. It could be an invasive species on a planetary scale, a microscopic competitor that our native biology has no defense against. It could rewrite our planet's ecosystem from the ground up. Not with malice, but simply by being more efficient. We're looking for little green men, but the real alien invasion might be happening at a level we can't even see. What if it's not seeding life but programmed to end it, triggering the Great Filter? There's a dark and chilling concept in cosmology known as the Great Filter. It's the idea that there's some kind of barrier or challenge that prevents civilizations from becoming interstellar. Maybe it's nuclear war or climate change or something we can't even imagine. But a terrifying new theory, amplified by Avi Loeb's warnings, suggests the filter isn't something we do to ourselves. It's a test that comes to us from the outside, and we may have just failed it. This theory reframes 3IATLAS not as a scout or a gardener, but as a sentinel, a cosmic tripwire, a doomsday machine. And the thing that set it off, us. Think about it like this. For millions of years, this object drifted silently through space, dormant and dark. Then it enters our solar system and suddenly flares to life, glowing with the power of 10 nuclear reactors. Why now? The chilling answer might be that it detected us. It registered the radio waves from our planet, the heat signature of our cities, or maybe even the light from our telescopes observing it. In this scenario, the object is a berserker probe, a concept from science fiction that has gained traction among some thinkers. It's an autonomous weapon designed by a long-dead civilization to seek out and eliminate any potential competitors. Its programming is simple: find emerging technological life and snuff it out before it can become a threat. This completely changes the meaning of everything we've seen. The glow isn't an engine, it's a weapon system powering up. And the fragmentation, the way the object started breaking apart as it got closer, wasn't a natural decay. It was a planned deployment. Loeb warns that we may have made a catastrophic error in assuming this was a passive object. By studying it, by shining our light on it, we may have triggered its final protocol. The pieces breaking off from the main body aren't just debris. They are independently targeted projectiles. The deliberate trajectory towards Mars and Jupiter now looks less like a survey and more like a strategic move to get better targeting angles on the entire inner solar system. Is 3IATLAS a messenger from another civilization, or just the strangest rock we've ever seen? What do you think is really going on? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more cosmic mysteries.